Three. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our second episode of the Aerobotics webinar. I would like to firstly welcome everyone whose first time it is on the episode, and to all the recurring clients and viewers, welcome again. It is a pleasure to have you guys with us. Right, to jump straight into it, our panelists this afternoon, we have JC van Walt, who is our Client Success Manager. My name is Sizwe Kunenda. I am your host and the Client Success Agent. We have Devin Osborne, our in-house agronomist, and Sardar Jacobs, who will be answering any questions. He is our lead drone operator. Our guest today, Paul Kuiper from Real IPM. He is the General Manager. Real IPM is the manufacturer and distributor of the biological products and protection products driven towards more sustainable practices within the agriculture space. Paul, would you like to say hello to all our guests?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
So Paul's role involves providing the technical backup needed for Real IPM consultants in the field. He and Real IPM consultants use AeroView to detect early stage problems on their farms. Just a background knowledge for those that have no idea what AeroView offers and what we do as an organization. We have our platform, which is called AeroView. It's the main data portal. It contains all the drone, satellite, and scouting data. Data is accessible across platforms using the same credentials that you can then take from your device onto a mobile device into your field, an application we call AeroView Scout, to find any issues highlighted by the satellite and the drone imagery that you have found by data picked up by your drone or satellite. It performs weekly pest and disease scouts on leaf and soil sampling and yield mapping. It also allows you to go directly to the trees that are stressed instead of going around your whole orchard, saving you time and saving you valuable money. We have a poll that we're going to put up now in order to get you guys to give us more feedback and give us an idea of how you guys are doing your scouts within the field. The question we have today: what application do you use for in-field scout? We'll give you guys about 20 to 30 seconds to answer that. It is multiple choice. We have pen and paper. We have AeroView Scout. We do not scout at all, or another application. Go for it, guys. Give us the best answer that you can think of. As soon as we're done with the scouting poll, we're going to jump straight into some information on what we're going to be doing today. Our panelists will be taking over from here. I think that's more than enough time for you guys to answer. We will pop up the answers towards the end as well if required. Right, so our package and pricing right now for the season is 40 Rand per hectare, and that's per month. It comes with recommended inclusions like your unlimited scouting on AeroView Scout, your full AeroView platform access at any time, anywhere in the world, weekly satellite health maps dependent on the cloud cover, scout reports that you have access to anytime, pest and disease alerts, amongst others as well. Without further ado, I would like to take it over to the panelists and let them educate us on when is the perfect time to fly.
Hi guys, yes, thanks Sizwe for introducing us. Thanks Paul for taking the time to be with us today. Thanks Devin, our agronomist. Nice to have you guys here. So I think one of the questions that we get most often from our clients is, when is the best time to actually have my drone flights so that I can act early on and use this data to actually take action on and make sure that I can improve my yields at the end of the day and also save costs. So the short answer to that is we would recommend 3 times a season. Now there's various times during the season that we would recommend them flying, and obviously it depends on the type of crop as well. But what we've done for today is we've actually have some use cases from actual AeroView clients that we've put together, and we're going to have a look at those. And those obviously include 3 different stages for 3 different crops. It's not limited to 3, but let's have a look at this. So as you can see, first and foremost, we've got Farm A. This is a citrus farm that we're looking at here. This citrus farm was flown during flowering and just before fruit set. And you can see the data displayed there on the screen. Devin, I think maybe if you can jump in here and just tell us a bit more about what did we find here and on the platform during flowering and fruit set, what are we actually looking for?
Thanks, JC. I think before I go forward, it's important to know what we actually provide the farmers with. So from a drone flight, the farmer will get individual tree metrics. And of those metrics, we provide tree health, which I think is very important and very valuable to the farmer. And we also supply volume, canopy area, and the height of the trees.
Yeah.
And I think during flowering, we all know that this is a crucial period for farmers because this period is very important to monitor stress. And if trees are under stress during this area, there's a potential yield loss at the end of the day. I think most citrus farmers will know if the tree is under too much stress, they'll drop flowers and hence they will lose yield. So it's important for the farmer to locate these stressed areas and actually get out into the field and investigate what's the cause of the stress. And so he needs to repair these issues before it causes economic damage. Paul, I don't know if you've got any comments on this.
I think those are all very valuable points. At the end of the day, we are trying to farm for increased production, increased quality, and at the end of the day, profitability on the farm. So when one considers fruit set, I think that's where your production for the season starts, and to set as many fruit as one can. A valuable point would be to possibly have your first drone flight prior to flowering and to be able to analyze the stress of the trees in the orchard prior to that point, so that you could make corrective actions before flowering initiates. I think therefore you reduce the amount of flowers that would fall off.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, so you're saying you can almost, before flowering already, look at getting the drone flights in, so that, I mean, the main focus for our platform obviously is to identify stressed trees early on. So if we can do that before flowering,
I think the earlier that the farmer can get the data to make the corrective actions, the better.
Okay.
In terms of production and yield, that'll give him the best results. If he can analyze per tree where his problem areas are and make those corrective actions as soon as possible, he will see the benefit in packouts at the end of the day, in turn later.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So we're working around flowering, but I mean, I think we can look at either a little bit before and during flowering as your first stage and your first time to get a drone flight for your specific crop. Now, let's look at a couple of, when we look at what type of threats there's out, and what are you looking for during those times when you have done the drone scout? I mean, Devin, there's a couple of pests and disease that the guys have picked up, especially in this case. If you can see in the top right-hand side there, I think in this specific case, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for this citrus farm, the farmer actually identified a lot of thrips damage at the top there, which is crucial during this time of season.
Yeah, definitely. Especially during flowering, you're getting a lot of new vegetative flush that is pushing through. And it's this new growth that the thrips actually targets. So it's important that you are protecting this new growth. So in this example, it was actually a thrips issue, and the farmer found it early enough to get his sprays in and protect his flowers and his yield. And other pests that you need to worry about during this period of season is also bollworm and diseases such as Phytophthora, botrytis, and brown rot.
Yeah, I think that period of the season, the scouting platform is incredibly valuable, and therefore going forward through the season. But at that point, pest damage is a big issue, and we need to be scouting for that for obvious reasons. So it's managing of your pests as well as monitoring and being able to manage the costs that you are spending in each orchard. If you're able to scout properly and you've trained someone incredibly well, and you're using a scouting platform where you're getting a nice topographical view of where your problem areas are on your farm, you're able to make the decisions to assess where you need to focus and attention on managing pests through the season and where your hotspots are, and then you can also reduce your costs on your not so hotspot areas on the farm. So automatically you're going to get a better overview of where you need to focus your attention on getting your crop protection correct and being able to save costs on your farm.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So again, if we take it back during flowering, early crop protection that we use with effective scouting will ultimately save you time because you can focus on the areas and then you save.
Exactly. I think your cost on your fungicide and insecticidal sprays could easily come down 30%. If you use your scouting tool and work on the results from the scouting.
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's just have a look what we're looking at over here and farm B. Moving on to the second important flight for your farm that we want to have. And for this example, we're actually looking at apples. Paul, I know this favorite of yours, guys, contemplate being an apple yourself. So we look at this case. This was flown during. This was actually during between the vegetative growth and the fruit cell enlargement. That's
definitely. I think the identifying stresses post blossom is very important in carrying. In the case of apples, production, actually getting your size and getting quality. So at early you can get your flight in the sense of you've got leaf canopy and leaf development in trees.
Agreed. Given, I think from your side, so I mean, there's a couple of things that we actually collect for each individual tree. For apples, we want to delve a bit into those two important ones. Just run us through those. And what do we focus on? We look at this time of the phenological stage of the crop.
Yes, no, for sure. So like I said, for the citrus, the seed that we provide is health metric, which is our normalized difference vegetation index, which basically monitors health and biomass of your crop. And the other ones also the canopy area and the tree heights. But I think what's really nice for the apple farmers is the volume. So the farmers can actually use this volume to correct their dosage for specific areas in the orchard. So they can base their spray on maybe the average volume of the orchard, or they can sow in the orchard in different zones for correct dosages.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And I think just before we had a conversation a little bit earlier, myself, you, and Paul, about how to use this volumetry. In this mentioning that you create a different save a lot of cost. Paul, you had an interesting comment earlier about this.
I think there are 2 points that I'd like to make here. There's definitely a place to use the aerobotics drone flights earlier in the season or earlier in the tree's life stage on your farm to sort of negate the issues that you're seeing on this screen, where you've got different sized trees and different tree row volumes through your orchard. The more consistent tree size your spray coverage is going to be, the better your management of that orchard will be, and in turn getting best results. I think another issue or that we're currently seeing in agriculture at Real IPM and through our representatives is tree row volume is a very important factor when deciding how much chemical to put down. And if you've got an inconsistent orchard like this, even with our best spray equipment, 60% of the chemical and insecticides, fungicides that we're spraying is actually landing on the ground. A lot of that is contact fungicides, and contact fungicides, when it rains or when you irrigate, wash down as well. Now, I think it's very important to elaborate on the point that your tree health is very linked to how healthy your soil is. So as soon as we are washing fungicides and insecticides into the soil, your fungi and your microorganisms in the soil are linked between your fertilizer and yours. We are then washing chemicals into our soil. Automatically, our trees are going to be under stress. So the more we can negate on reducing chemicals where necessary, as well as understanding the effect that it will have on the soil and the stress factors on the tree, I think it's very important that you can make the decisions through information given to you by whatever platform is better for the farm.
That makes a lot of sense. So what we're actually saying is that not even as a cost or as time saving, but if you apply the information that you're getting over here, you're actually focusing on the sustainable farming side.
I think that's very important. At the end of the day, we are mining from the soil, and that's coming through in the nutrient value of our food. And sort of with the chemical experiment in terms of agriculture, I think people are becoming aware that that sort of failed. And there's definitely an inclination towards moving to a more sustainable way of farming. So taking data that aerobotics is providing is giving the farmer the information that he needs to make these decisions on his farm, where he can understand the negative effects of some of the things he's doing, or maybe just understand them and limit those negative effects. So taking whatever, how he can change his puts to maybe have less of a negative effect. I think that's sort of where
Absolutely. And I think from what the area review platform, I think my main focus then would be to, you just mentioned, actually have that information, to be aware of that information, and that's exactly what we give you guys over your years. So if you look at the first stage of the plots would be before or during flowering. Now we're looking at fruit stand enlargement as a second stage for the guys to have the flights. Now let's look at the third stage. During the advanced physiological stages, when it's time to have a drone flight. Now we're looking at farm, what we call C, it's the macadamia farm. We all know that the macadamia industry in South Africa is absolutely booming. So I think this is very relevant and exciting case that we're looking at over here. I think during the flights that we do for the macadamia stage, the time of the year that we're looking at was around May to June, correct?
That's
There's specific type of metric that we're looking for during that time of season. Can you elaborate?
Yes. So bush was flown flower initiation, which also created for the farmer to monitor stress. But not only stress, there's a lot of things that the farmer can use during this process. So what you see in the scene is now actually a canopy area metric. And what macadamia is, we all know macadamia are massive trees, and the macadamia farmers farm over large areas. So it's kind of impossible for the farmers to go through and prune the whole farm in one season. So what's nice about the canopy area tool is that you can actually filter out the bigger trees in the field, and you can kind of arrange like a rotating pruning program. And this allows you to locate the bigger trees that need pruning more than the smaller trees, the smaller canopy area. And this is a very valuable tool for farmers. And this also allows more of the spray applications to actually penetrate into the canopy, which is really important. Also during this period, the farmers need to locate trees that are actually infected by phytophthora. As you can see in this image, we've got some trees that are showing a discoloration that may be looking a little bit more yellow. So the farmer can find these trees because they actually need to treat for phytophthora in July and August, which I think is very important, very valuable for them to locate. And it's a lot harder for the farmer to do this just walking through the field, out of aerial harvest orchards.
Devin, I think some very important points there. I'd like to just dwell on the spray application. The better you prune your tree and the better your tree management is, the better your penetration of insecticides and fungicides. So in terms of your crop protection, you'll get a better coverage and you'll get a better result. There's also very strong correlation to light intensity through a tree and bud development or fruit development. So if you prune your trees correctly, allow light penetration, your yields will go up, and your quality will go up. And if you take an average macadamia orchard, there will be variability in tree size. So the more you can manage that, your overall production in an orchard will definitely increase.
Yeah, that makes sense. So this study you're looking at here is this flowering initiation. Okay, so that's an interesting use case as well. But then, besides the pruning side of things, there's obviously during that time the flowering initiation, we also look at various pests and diseases that might be threats that we want to go and scout for, or we want to go and have a look for. But again, the area review platform helps you identify the areas first that you maybe we're not aware of before. When is flowering? So what do we scout when we look at pest and disease and that time?
Look, obviously every it's different pests and diseases. And I think it's important to start with a well-trained scout and teach them exactly what fungal diseases, bacterial diseases, pests come at what stage of the season, and obviously thrips is a big one around the fruit set period. And in that data, if the person that is collecting that data is well trained, the farmer gets the data and he knows there's a very good correlation to what's happening in the orchard to what he's seeing maybe on his laptop or the piece of paper whoever's scouting.
Yeah.
I think taking that back then to where we're going in agriculture and what Real IPM's philosophy at least is, we're moving away from spraying a set program through a season and blanket spraying, basically reducing the overuse of chemicals.
Yeah.
We will use more target-specific chemicals for specific pests. So if you're scouting and you are picking up thrips, you then have the option as a farmer to spray a very target-specific chemical or by a biological product for that pest, as opposed to choosing a more broad spectrum, a blanket killing insecticide, which has a lot of negative effects on your crops. So when it comes to predators and parasitoids helping you farm sustainably, I think your choice on chemical is very important. So the scouting tool is very, very good in terms of being able to say, I have thrips in my orchard or I have a specific pest in my orchard. So your target specific spray program can be sort of designed that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Cesar mentioned it earlier when you explained a little bit more about the aerobotic system. So we clearly can see, Paul, from your side, how important scouting really is. From the AeroView platform, which basically provides a tool for both the early problem detection and in the scouting, that just works perfectly, because now we show them where in your orchard the areas of more stress is, and we help them to get there more effectively and more easily. And then,
very important, I think, naturally, you must understand nature. Nature is there to take out the weaklings. So if you're able to use the drone platform to identify where your stressed areas are in your farm or in a specific orchard, you've got a very good idea of where the first pests are going to be coming in, because your pests will go to your stressed trees. So being able to identify those stressed locations is a very important factor of being able to say, okay, well, they're my hotspot locations are on my farm.
Yeah.
So that is a function that aerobotics has provided, I think, is a huge tool towards farmers, and being able to monitor that through the season. So not only on your spray program side, but to get your maximum yield out of your orchard in terms of keeping your plant healthy, there's huge benefits.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just again, the scouting tool just adds more power in the farmer's hand to go and see what's causing that issue and how then to apply the corrective measures over there.
Yes.
So let's just backtrack a second here and just go back to the 3 times of the season that we wanted the guys to focus on for specific drone flights. Because again, these are the questions that we get most often. When is the best time to fly my drone, to get a drone flight done? So we would recommend before flowering or during flowering, is that correct? And then we're looking when it's fruit cell enlargement, that time of the season. Obviously, it's crop specific. And also then the last stage would be during flower initiation, which again you get May to June. So those are the 3 most important times of the season. But what we also want to let everyone know is that's not the only 3 times. That's our recommendation, at least 3 times. We do have clients on board that flies at least once a month, some maybe twice a month during the season period. So at least 3 times, but ultimately it's up to the farmer should they want to fly a little bit more. And we've just ran through why. I mean, the crucial step in identifying the pest and disease early on, that's, I think, our main focus. So the drone imagery shows you where, the scouting side of things shows you what is the pest or the disease, so you can monitor that. And just, helps you getting constant data through so that you can improve your yields and ultimately, obviously, save cost. Yeah. I think Paul touched on that a lot. We want to help the guys save cost. We want to help the guys save time. And then, obviously, that will help them just be more sustainable as well.
The early detection, I think, is a very important factor here, where we might not be able to pick up an issue with a citrus tree having Phytophthora with the human eye.
Yeah.
Your aerobotics drone is going to go and do that for you. So your reaction time is suddenly so much sooner or so much quicker to the normal situation where farmers have currently farming. That's not only going to save you money in terms of the amount that you have to spend to clean up a Phytophthora issue in an orchard or whatever soil-borne disease it may be, but you've also got a faster time that you can react, so your production's not going to have such a big dip. So we always work it back to profitability at the end of the day, because it's got to make sense to the farmer to use systems like this.
Yeah.
So I think there is a very strong correlation to when and why, and that early, to come in those early stages to identify and take corrective measures.
Spot on. Yeah, absolutely spot on. So there you have it, guys. That's the 3 times of the season that we recommend. I'm going to, in a second or two, hand over again to Sizwe. But before I do, for anyone that does not have an AeroView account yet, or that doesn't have multiple drone flights during the season but looking to do so, I mean, it's very easy, very simple. You can just log on to our website and you can draw up your farm. Once you've done that, there's a button top right that says request a drone flight. We put the drone operator in touch with you and we will handle the rest for you. So it's very easy. And anyone that also has their own drones, our platform provides perfectly for that as well. So please get in touch if you've got your own drone and you want your own drone flights to be done as well. So Paul, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Devin, thanks a lot for the insightful information. I'm going to hand back to Sizwe now to take us through the rest.
Right, gentlemen, thank you very much for that. Okay, so moving along, we have a bit of a promo for you guys. You can get your first 10 hectares free flight using the promo code that we have available on the screen. Log in, create your account. It is completely free to log in, insert the promo code, and you redeem your first flight 10 hectares for free. Also, just to add on to that, we have a humongous event that will be on the 11th of October. It is South Africa and in the United States as well. We would love for you guys to join us wherever you are in the country. Some of the areas that we'll be posting on Franschhoek, Citrusdale, Johannesburg, Pretoria, South Coast, and Durban, the Midlands, Kirkland, and Zanin, Nelspruit, and Hartswater. We're also going to put up some links on our chat there, some contact details, the link for the RSVP. Guys, please do RSVP. We are getting full quite quick. It is really a major event. It is unheard of within the agriculture space, and we'd love to have you guys with us. Lastly, just a big thank you to our guest, Paul Kuiper and Real IPM. Hats off to Devin and JC for the hard work putting all that information together for you guys. We have WhatsApp, we have a support line as well that is all day long, and you guys can give us a shout on that. Please look out for our next episode coming soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.